us to implement simple index on primary key for a file of student object. Okay, and these are the functions which has to be implemented in the program, that is adding of record, insertion of record, searching of record, and deletion of record. Okay, now this is the data file. This is the data file in which the records are written, and this is the index file. Okay, you can see 0, 2, 3 is the key. So those are the fields: USN, name, address, semester, department, and college. Okay, so these are the fields, and now this is the key. USN is considered as a primary key. So 0, 2, 3 is the primary key, and its byte offset is to be included in the index file. Okay, so 0, 2, 3 is here, and it is at a displacement of 0 at the initial first position itself of the data file. It is present. Okay, so 0, 2, 3 of 0. Fine. The next record is starting here. So key is 005, and its byte offset, the position at which this record starts. So 005 is at 32, 003 is at 67, and so on. Okay, you can observe here that as and when the records are added, it is just added to the data file. It is the contents are just added here, and the index file data are sorted and stored. Okay, so 003 first, and then 005, and then 023. Okay, and so on. So this is sequentially arranged. Data file is sequentially arranged. Index file is sorted and returned to the index. The content is sorted and returned here. Okay. Now, when I explained the theory program, I had told that the index file will be copied to the primary memory first. Okay, so index file is copied to primary memory first, and whenever I want a record with key 005. Binary search is done on this. I get the key, I get the position where the record is present. I directly go to that position and retrieve the record. Okay, now first I have to copy. So this is the first step: copy the index file to the primary memory. So in the program also the same step is followed. That is, in the main function itself, I'll call the load index function. The load index function, what does it do is load the index.txt file. That is, this whole file content is read line by line. It is read and copied to the primary key, primary array and index array, PRI array and index array. So PRI 0, PRI of 0, that is the first index will be, first array content will be 003. IND of 0 is 67. PRI of 1 is 005, and its corresponding index, that is displacement, IND of 1 is 32. PRI of 2 is 023, and IND of 2 is 0. Okay, means if I access the primary key, if I find out that 005 is the record I want, that is the PRI of 1, then directly I access IND of 1. What is the displacement at the same index? Okay, if PRI 1 matches, it is the IND 1 value which I want to retrieve. So correspondingly, the values are present in this displacement array. Fine. So that is the load index function. Okay, so first in the main function I call load index, and the content of index file are added to this arrays, and then I call the insert function or delete function. So whichever function, whenever I insert the records, the index file has to be updated, and this content has to be returned to this index file, sorted and put into this index file. So that step is done in write index function. Okay, so write index function, what happens? Call sort, means sorting of the sorting of the once again. The door so call sort function. So before writing to the index file, I should sort the contents of this file. So call sort and arrange. And this contents of the primary key and index array, all these contents are sorted according to the order of the key, according to the content of the PRI array, and it is formatted in this particular order, that is the key and index ended by # symbol. Okay, and the content is returned to the index file. Okay, so that is the load index and write index. Load at the starting of the program in the main function, the content of index file is read and put to these arrays. Okay, I read a record and put the key and displacement. Read next record, put the key and displacement in the next index of the array. Fine, and that is the load index. And now all the keys and its displacement are present in this particular arrays. Okay, whenever I add a record, it has to be returned to the index file. So content will be written, the position where the new record is going to be added. Okay, and its key value will be returned to this. So that is write index function is called, where sorting of this array takes place. Okay, and then it is formatted and index is returned to the file. So we'll see the insert function. So hope you have understood the process, what is happening here. Okay, so PRI of 0 will have the value 003, and its corresponding value IND of 0 will have the value 67. Okay, fine. So similarly, PRI of 1 will have the value 005, and IND of 1 is the content 32 will be there. Okay, PRI of 2 will have the value 023, and IND of 2 will have the value 0. Okay, now suppose I add a new record. When I want to add a new record, first I should know at what position this is. Okay, what is the position where I am going to add the new record? So that position is copied first. Okay, I'm going to insert a record now. So read the position first, and then read the USN name and all that. Okay, put it in a proper format and write it to the file. So after writing to the file, you also have to write it in the PRI array. Okay, so in PRI, suppose the new key of what I'm going to add here is in the file, to the file is I want to add the USM 012. Okay, and it's his name, fine, something, and all that address and everything. Okay, so this is the key. So key will be copied in PRI 012, and its index, so IND of 3. So index is at some location. Suppose it is 100. Okay, now the content is returned to this array, but it is not sorted. Now I have to sort this. So I have to, I'm calling a sort function. We'll see the sort function. I have to move this to here, yeah, the initial before position, correct? So I move this here. When I move this here, okay, so it becomes sorted. Okay, And the index is also sorted, you know, the sorting process. Okay, so the index is also sorted. However, we'll see the sort function. Okay, and then the contents are packed and returned to this file. Contents of this arrays are packed and returned to this file. So whenever you are updating, you're sorting and updating to the index file. Okay, so that is a write index. Call sort to arrange the PRI and IND array content. Format it in this particular format, followed by hash. Okay, and then write to the index array. Okay, so that is the steps of write index. Now, insert function. Insert function, what does it do? I have told you first what happens when I want to insert the new record. I read this position. Okay, I read this position where the new record has to be added first. Before adding the record itself, I just place the cursor. I read the position where the cursor is. Okay, so similar, the same step, read position of the new record using tell p function. Okay, I use seek p and move the cursor to a particular position, and then use tell p to read that position, read the displacement from the starting of the file. Okay, position is nothing but displacement from the starting of the file. So it returns an integer value, that is at which position the cursor is currently now. Fine, and read the USN, and then use binary search. Okay, so whenever I want to write the record, read the position, and I want to add a new record, so read the USN which I want to add. Okay, use binary search in PRI to check if the USN matches. Okay, so already USNs are here, few USNs are here in PRI array. So when the USNs are here, first I have to check whether the new USN, whatever I'm going to add, is already present in these arrays. Okay, if it is already present, I will not consider that USN. It is a duplicate record, so I will not take that USN. Okay, so you use binary search and check if USN is already present, whether it is matches. Okay, if it matches, means that USN is already present, so I will not read that record. If it does not match, then read the next fields, that is the name, the address, the semester, branch, college, all the other fields are read, and then format the record, put the record in proper format, and then send to the file. Okay, so that is the steps. So hello, Haley. Raman format class. So I think all of you are here. Fine. So update the. Okay. So if the USN is not the same, is not present in PRI file, just read the other fields, format the contents in the particular, put the contents in particular format, and then send to the file. Send to the file, update the PRI and index array. Okay, so PRI and index array you had seen previously. After I added new record, this new contents will be added. Okay, and then call the write index function to sort it and put it to the index file. Okay, so that is the insert function. Now coming to delete function. First, I want to delete a record, means I want to delete one of the records. Okay, so when I want to delete one of the record, I first read the USN. If the USN matches with this PRI, any of this PRI value, means that record is present. Okay, if that record is present, suppose 003 USN, this particular record I want to delete. So I check in PRI array if 003 is present. If 003 is present, use IND of 0, this particular same index IND array. Okay, go to this location 67, directly go to this location, okay, and then put star there. Okay, put a star there indicating that it is a deleted record. Similarly, in the index file also, I put a star for that particular record. Okay, so we'll see the index function, delete function, how it works. Now here, the delete function, the steps is read USN to be deleted, use binary search on PRI array to check if the USN matches. If the USN matches, take the index, okay, that is the same corresponding index position, use seek G and go to that particular location. Okay, seek G, I read the buffer content, put star as the first character and send to the file. Okay, and then again call index function to sort the content. So in index file also the content is updated. Similarly, the search function, read USN to be searched, check if the PRI array, the USN is present. If the USN is present, go to that particular IND position using seek G, read the complete record and display the record. So that is search function. Okay, now we will see the program. We'll see the program. Okay, now the first main function. In the main function, so I have used a class text index. I have declared a class above. So in the class, there are these functions. All these functions and variables are put in the class. There is insert function, delete function, and display individual records, display I functions. All these functions are declared there. And also the fields, what I told, the USN name, semester, address, okay, the department, college, all these fields are in this particular class, text index class. Okay, I am first calling the load index function. Load index is also one of the function which is declared in this class. Okay, so I first call the load index function, and then you can see the while loop. This is an infinite while loop. Other than calling of this default, other than 1, 2, 3, if I use any other key, 4, 5, 6 or anything, the program will exit. Okay, otherwise it is an infinite loop. I can insert values, press 1, delete, press 2, and search, press 3. So here there is a switch statement. Fine. We'll see these functions, insert, delete, and display. First, the load index function. Okay, I'll just go to the starting of the program. Sorry. Fine. So here there is class index. Okay, so the files, header files used IOStream for stream operations, input output stream operations, C in and C out. Okay, there is string.h function, a header file which is used for string copy and string compare functions. I'm using string.h, and here I'm using fstream. Fstream is for file operations. Okay, so using namespace std. So this is the std package. Fine, std class. So this here fstream I'm using 2. So this is the index. Here you can see the variables which is used, different fields which is used in the record, okay, in each data record. And then there are these functions: insert, delete, display individual records, that is search function, okay. And then load index, write index are the different functions. Load index to load the index file content to the array, and write index, array is sorted and returned to the index file, okay. So first we'll see the in the main function, however, you're calling the load index function first. We'll see the load index function. So as I told, the steps: open the index.txt file in read mode, okay, and there is a continuous while loop. So you are reading the data from the file you're opening, okay, and then reading the data, the file is open, and then use getLine and read the data as you had seen in the previous program. The same getLine function, what does it do is read one line of data. Okay, one line of data means it reads set of characters including space until the special character appears. The whatever character you mention here as a third parameter, until this appears, or until 100 characters are read. Okay, so that is getLine function. Read the contents from the file which is pointed by def index f. Okay, so read the contents from the file to the buffer, this particular string, until hash appears or the 100 characters are read. Okay, so hash symbol is not taken. Other than this, all other characters will be read. Fine. If you are not able to read, okay, if this operation fails, or if it is an end of file, break from this while loop. If you are able to read, it comes to the next statement. So scanf function is executed. What is scanf? As you had seen in the previous programs, scanf is to read the contents or put the contents to these variables. Okay, so in scanf function, what do? Your usual scanf function, the contents are read from the keyboard, okay, in a particular format, and you put that specifiers here, format specifiers here, and it is copied to those variables. Similarly here in scanf, the contents are read from the string. Okay, so buffer, there is some content, and the contents are in this particular format. Okay, contents are in this particular format, and they are copied to these variables. Okay, so until the pipeline symbol, there is starting initially, there is a pipeline symbol, and then followed by until the next pipeline symbol appears, all the contents are copied to PRI. Okay, so you know the index file content. So you had seen index file is like this something, okay, 67, and then followed by the hash symbol. You had seen the index file in the program there when I explained the functions, general functions which are used. Okay, so you had seen the some index file like this. So this is the format in which the file content are there. This is the format in which the file is there. Okay, so this line is read. I have read this line till here. Fine, it is in the buffer. Okay, and it is in this format. Now there is a pipeline symbol until the next pipeline symbol comes. Everything, whatever is there, is copied to PRI count. Count is initialized to 0. Okay, PRI of 0. And then the remaining content, 67, is copied to temp. Okay, until the next pipeline symbol comes, everything is copied to temp. Fine. So here you can see this is a string variable. Okay, this is a string, buffer is a string. Okay, so temp is a string, and so it is converted to integer using A to I, ASCII to integer. Okay, the temp value is converted to, the temp string is converted to integer, and it is copied to IND. IND is an integer array. Okay, IND of count. and count is incremented so that PRI, it happens, the count increments here. Okay, read the next record until the next # symbol appears. If it is an end of file, break. Otherwise, the buffer will have the next record contains, that is the next record contains, fine, and then copy it into the first, until the pipeline symbol appears, the content is copied to PRI, and the remaining, that is the displacement, to temp. So the string is converted to integer, ASCII to integer, and copied to count IND array. Okay, and so on. So this is the load index function. This is the load index function. Fine. Next, we'll see the write index function. So write index, what you're doing in the write index. The PRI and IND has some array content, okay, that is sorted and then return to the file, return to the index file. So call sort function, sort1, okay, you're calling the sort function, and here you can see in the sort function the content of the arrays PRI and IND array contents are sorted. So how it is sorted? According to the PRI value. Okay, this is I, there is I is initialized to a position, and J is the next position in the array. Okay, I is pointing to a particular index of the array, and J is the next position. J is I plus 1. Okay, at any time, if the value of PRI of J, that is the next position, is less than, the J position is less than I, or I position, whatever is there in this array, PRI of I, okay, PRI array is there. There is PRI array. Okay, all this different values of the array. Fine. I is pointing to one particular index, and J is pointing to the next index position. So if ith value is greater than jth value, I should put this the other side. Okay, so I'm checking here, I is greater than J, I is PRI of I is copied to K, and if that is greater than the next PRI of J, then the swapping takes place. Okay, I'm using this temp character array and temp index integer to swap the values. The values are swapped. Suppose here there is in the primary index the keys. The key present here is 5, that is 005, and at the next location J 23 is sorry, not 23, 2 is present. Okay, so this 2 value has to be moved to the ith location, and J is moved to the next location. Okay, so that sorting is taking place here. Fine. So that is write index function. So you call sort, and then now the PRI array and IND array are sorted. They are sorted contents. Okay, and now it is returned to the, okay, it is sorted contents, and contents are put in this particular format. In the first program you had seen, you can directly put this contents to the file in this way using redirection operators. Okay, pipeline symbol, the PRI array, pipeline symbol, the buffer content. Why this buffer content? Why this buffer contents? Remember that IND is an integer. Integer has to be converted to the string and then sent to the file. Okay, so this integer is converted to the string and put to the file. As you had seen in the previous programs, program 2 and 3, you used for packing of files, you had used sprintf, the same function sprintf, that is putting the variables in a particular string format, and it is copied to buffer. Okay, So this is the content is put in a format and sent to the file, index of F file. This is the write index function. Okay, next we'll see the insert function. So here there is the insert function. So when you want to add a record, I should know the position where the record is being added. First, I want to know the position where the record has to be added. So I use seekg function. I had explained the syntax of seekg in earlier programs. So seekg, this is the syntax, displacement, and the position. Okay. So with respect to end position, I go to the 0th displacement, means I go to the end of the file. Wherever the record is ending, I go to that end of the file. So that new record I am placing from the end of the file. Okay. So go to the end of the file. So the seekg, now G pointer is at the end of the file. So I take this position, this using tell G, I take this position and the position is copied to pause. Okay, now I have copied the position to pause. Now start reading the record. Enter the record details, enter the USN. Okay, I'm reading the USN. USN is red. Now I have to compare this USN, whatever is red is present in PRI array. Okay, so use binary search and compare the PRI array content and also the USN, whatever you have given now. Okay, I want to enter a record with this particular USN. Fine. Now compare these two values. If these two values are equal at any time, that means the record to be entered is duplicate and it is not entertained. Okay, if it is not the same, then the binary search continues, and okay, if it is equal, means I have found a value which is with the particular USN which I want to enter. If it is not, the binary process continues, and at any time this has not encountered, equal to is not encountered, means it does not return from the function. In that case, the control will come here. Okay, if the at any time it goes into this if statement. Okay, if it goes into this if statement, then return is called, means return from the function. Duplicate record anta print ಮಾಡಿ, it returns from this function. Otherwise, read the next fields. Okay, name, address, branch, and college. Okay, read the next fields and then put it in a particular format using sprintf. I am putting it in a format, the record content fields in a particular format. Okay, and send the buffer content to the file. So data is a pointer to the file. I'm putting the buffer content to the file. Now the file is updated. I have to take care of index file now. Index file, the USN is copied to PRI of count. Okay, and pause is copied to IND of count, and count is incremented. Remember that you have to increment the count so that whenever you are adding the next record, it is not the previous record content, the account, that is PRI content, is not overwritten. Okay, so that count is incremented. Now if count value was 2, PRI2 is put as some value, I should increment the count to 3. Next, here I should increment the count to 3 so that next time when I am reading the record, this whenever I am writing a new record, so in the third location the content is written. Okay, so that is, I have put the values also now to the PRI array and index array. Now the values is to be sorted and sent to the index. So set index file. So I call write index function, where sorting of PRI and IND array takes is done, and then the contents are sent to the index file. Okay, so that is the insert function. We'll just see the delete function, what is happening in the delete function. Okay, so I have to delete a record. Again, read the USN whose record I have to delete. I have to check in the index file whether that USN is present. So binary search on the index file content are in PRI and IND array. So binary search on this PRI array. PRI array contains the keys, that is the USNs. Okay. So if at any time K equals M, M is the value whatever I have entered now. Okay, the USN whatever I want to delete. So it is an, whenever I am reading, it is a string. So string is converted to integer. Okay, so string is converted to integer. I have read the USN. Is the USN present in PRI array? Okay, so is the record present? If it is present, if it matches, means that record is present. If the record is present, go to the particular location. Okay, IND mid will give the location. If PRI of mid matches, IND mid will give me the location where the record is present. So go to that location, use get line and read that whole record into the buffer. Okay, buffer contains a whole record now. Buffer of 0 is put to star. Okay, buffer of 0, that is the first character is put as star. And in the index file also, the PRI of mid's first character is put as star. Okay, and then I am sending back the content. Okay, so from the beginning, I am sending back the content to the this buffer content to the same location. Okay, so that the record with star is added to the file. So it moves to the file and right index. So here star is updated in this primary key array. So star is updated. So that's why I write the index again. So that again it is sorted. Okay, when I am sorting, the records with star will move to the front. Okay, so that the records, I know which all records are deleted. Okay, now that is the delete function. And coming to the display function, display is nothing but search individual record. So it is half of delete function is display function. That is what happens. I enter the USN to be deleted. I search the USN in PRI array. Okay, so if that USN is present in PRI array, if the values is present, if the value is present is same, that means the record is found, flag 1 is set to 1, and go to that particular location using seek G. Okay, IND mid, you can see here in this seek G, IOS begin is not there. So by default, if I don't enter anything, it is IOS begin. Okay, so if you don't enter also, no problem. From the beginning of the file, it goes to this location and read the record. So the USN has matched with the PRI value and the record is there. So I read the record and put the record in the to the screen, and I can directly use cout buffer content. Cout buffer I can put, but the whole buffer in this format it will be put. The content will be put in this particular format. Okay, instead of that, what is done is each value is taken and each value is displayed like this. So USN name, some address, itara mention madi, it is data is put. You can directly put cout buffer, no problem. Okay. So if flag is 0, that means record was not found and it is record does not exist. Okay. Whenever record existed, I'm initializing flag 1 to 1, and if flag 1 is not set to 1, means flag content is 0. Okay, so that is the 5th program, using index file to keep track of the records. Okay, and when the records are deleted or added, we are using this index file and updating the index file. Okay.